into Gabby Williams, got hit in the forehead, and it caused 2 black eyes. And you can still see some of the remnants of them, and now she's sporting the bloody lip. She is as tough as they come.
Lexie Hull stepped onto the court against the Chicago Sky sporting 2 black eyes and walked off with a busted lip, but still delivered one of the grittiest performances of her career. Yet it's what she said after the game that has fans talking. Indiana's domination of Chicago, even through adversity, shows this team isn't just sneaking into the playoffs, they're redefining who they are right before our eyes. Think that's impressive? Just wait until you hear Lexie Hull's post-game words. They might go down as the rallying cry of the Fever's playoff run. If you're fired up after that win, drop a comment and show some love for the Fever. Let's go!
That's a W. Made it out. All we gotta do is keep making it out. Woo! Dubs!
How do you win when your superstar is sidelined and half your lineup is held together by tape? That was the challenge facing Indiana the moment Caitlin Clark announced her season was over. Just days before the end of the regular season, she made it official. I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season. Clark had been battling a persistent groin injury since mid-July, one that refused to heal, no matter how hard she or the team pushed. Fans had clung to hope for her return, but when the news finally broke, that hope vanished. Suddenly, Indiana's entire playoff push had to be reimagined without their star.
Clark released a statement saying this: "I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season. I spent hours in the gym every day with the singular goal of getting back out there. Disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how I am feeling. I want to thank everyone who had my back through all the uncertainty. This has been incredibly frustrating, but even in the bad, there is good. The way the fans continue to show up for me and for the Fever brought me so much joy and important perspective. I am so proud of how this team has only gotten stronger through adversity this year. Now it's time to close out the season and claim our spot in the playoffs."
And it wasn't just Clark. The Fever have been called snake-bitten all season, and the injury report backed it up. Sophie Cunningham was ruled out for the year. Sydney Colson went down with a torn ACL. Chloe Bibby's name was a fixture on the injury list with ongoing knee issues. And Ari McDonald? Out with a broken foot. That's an entire rotation gone. Now picture trying to gear up for the most critical stretch of the season without your franchise star, your enforcer, your backup point guard, a key forward, and a veteran leader all sidelined at once. Instead of building playoff chemistry, the coaching staff was forced to play musical chairs with the lineup every single.
She's been working her butt off to be able to get back, and we've kind of run out of time to be able to do it in a safe way, in a safe manner. And I think we've all been very open and upfront with her long-term health and wellness is the most important thing. To be in a position that you need to be in to play at this time of the year, we just ran out of time to get her there.
Head coach Stephanie White didn't hide her frustration. Speaking candidly about Clark's setbacks, she said, "It's frustrating all the injuries she's had." The groin issue, White explained, simply ran out of calendar. "We ran out of time to do it in a safe way, in a safe manner." Her message was clear. Clark's long-term health mattered more than rushing her back for a playoff push. General Manager Amber Cox echoed the sentiment, reminding everyone that preserving Clark's career took priority over winning one late-season game. But the fallout was undeniable. Indiana's depth chart was gutted. With Clark and Ari McDonald's playmaking gone, Cunningham's toughness out, Colson's veteran presence missing, and Bibby's floor spacing lost, the Fever were suddenly working with zero margin for error. Every possession carried more weight. Every substitution felt like a gamble. And yet, Caitlin Clark never checked out. Even in street clothes, she was all in cheering every bucket, leaping off the bench for high fives, voice echoing through every timeout. TV cameras kept finding her, locked in, focused, still leading. In Indiana, her shoes never had to touch the floor for her presence to be.
It's frustrating, number one, just all the injuries that she's had. Obviously, I wouldn't speak for her, but and the amount of work that she's put in to position herself to be able to play and then to have to ultimately make this decision. There's disappointment. There's the obvious frustration that's come with not being healthy really for an entire season. But ultimately, I think the big picture is the most important thing, and those are conversations that we've continued to have. And the message has continued to be that it's not her long-term health and wellness and her being 100% when she's ready to go is the most important thing.
That presence mattered because the playoff picture was brutal. Heading into the week, the Fever were barely hanging on to 8th place, clinging just ahead of the Los Angeles Sparks. One misstep, and they could tumble out of playoff contention entirely. Survival became the theme. Could this injury-riddled roster hold on long enough to punch their postseason ticket? Could they keep believing without their superstar on the floor at that point? It wasn't just a basketball challenge, it was a test of will. And with that uncertainty hanging over them, the build-up to the Chicago game felt like a pressure cooker. There was no glamour in it, just grit, execution, and the need to answer the moment. And somehow, in that crucible, Indiana found their fire. That pressure didn't break them, it lit the spark that fueled their explosive response against the Chicago.
And Bree Hall plays tonight. Boston on a kick out. Mitchell, oh, she's hot to start. Mitchell finds Dantas, who rolls and lays it in.
What does 97-77 really mean when you look beyond the box score on paper? It's a 20-point win. Nothing unusual. But if you've been following the story between these two teams, you know it's so much more than that. Indiana didn't just beat Chicago, they owned them. 5 straight wins this season, each by an average margin of 24 points. That's not just dominance, that's a statement. It's the kind of lopsided matchup that reveals how far apart two franchises truly are right now. You'd think a team with that level of control would be comfortably coasting into the playoffs. But not Indiana. Coming into this game, they were clinging to 8th place, just 1 game ahead of the Sparks. That's how razor-thin the margin was. One bad night, and their playoff hopes could have spiraled. Instead, they did the opposite. They took the pressure, the injuries, the doubts, and turned it into a statement. In their most fragile moment, the Fever delivered their most complete and commanding performance of the season.
Mitchell, will she add to it? Whips it back for Dantas. Kelsey Mitchell putting on a show here in Indy.
Look at the spin on the ball. Just one dribble over the head pad.
Mitchell's been brilliant on a kick out to Howard. Mitchell bouncing. Howard, the left hand.
And then getting a stop on the defensive end. I know Coach Stephanie White is happy with her team with that.
Mitchell being hounded by Atkins, trying to shake her. Mitchell bounces inside, and Howard gets the roll.
Kelsey Mitchell led the charge just like she has all season. She dropped 20 points and dished out 8 assists, running the offense with poise and purpose. But this wasn't just about putting up numbers. It was about balance. Mitchell wasn't hunting shots, she was orchestrating the flow, setting the table for her teammates while still delivering buckets exactly when the Fever needed them, especially in the first half. It was a performance that blended leadership with execution, and it set the tone early.
Here in the first half. Oh, it's Howard finding Sims, who finishes tight quarters. Howard backing in on Williams. Little shake and bake, and the fadeaway.
Behind her was Natasha Howard, who delivered a commanding performance with 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 steals. She brought it on both ends of the floor, providing a steady scoring presence inside while anchoring the defense with a kind of disruptive energy that kills runs and breaks an opponent's rhythm. Her impact wasn't just in the box score, it was in the momentum she stole every time Chicago tried to find a spot.
Came in the second quarter. Indiana's just been able to hold Chicago at an arm's length here tonight. And Natasha Howard putting together one of her best games of the season.
The man saying that little bunny, just the possession before, comes up through the contact, goes straight to her chest. Not a...
Sims finds some space and can't get the roll. Howard charging, tips it, comes down with it, and flips it home.
And it didn't stop there. Indiana had 3 more players score in double figures, a clear sign of just how balanced and versatile their attack really was. Odyssey Sims brought a burst of energy off the bench, giving them quick strike guard play and another steady option in the backcourt rotation. Aaliyah Boston, as dependable as ever, held things down in the paint, embracing the added responsibility in Clark's absence and showing she's more than ready to carry the load when needed.
She is the team's leading scorer with Angel Reese not available. Hull lob it inside. Boston spins and finishes. So far in the second half, it's been one step forward, one step back for the Sky. Boston turns the corner on Cardoso, banks it home, and
Even Aerial Powers chipped in with strong minutes, delivering scoring and energy that kept the Sky on their heels all night. That kind of depth, especially when the roster was already stretched thin by injuries, showed why this wasn't just a random blowout. Indiana's performance was a statement. A team stepping up together, proving their grit and balance run far.
Hands there by Williams. Petty. Powers. Through traffic and is able to finish. Powers going behind the back on Ban, muscles her way to the rim, draws the foul, and flips it home, and one Powers.
V11. The stat that tells the real story: 27 assists to just 9 turnovers. That's efficiency at its finest, especially for a team forced to constantly shuffle lineups. Players weren't hunting shots. They were moving the ball, trusting each other, and punishing defenses that got caught off balance. Chicago simply couldn't keep up. Time and again, Indiana turned possessions into high-percentage opportunities, putting the Sky away well before the final buzzer. Why does all this matter beyond just another win? Because this victory didn't just bring relief, it gave the Fever control over their playoff destiny. Sweeping Chicago meant the Sky were out of the picture. Indiana had essentially locked in a postseason spot. And with key results falling their way in Seattle and Golden State, the door to 6th place swung wide open. This isn't luck. This is momentum.